leather legs, getting in play. What do you get? Say, magic, zoom room, cosmic zoom. That's some J-Sonic boom.
Sonic warrior, Sonic warrior.
You always need a pay. You got the power to save the day.
Take a little chance, slip on through. You got smart, no matter what you do. You gotta do for you.
Sonic warrior, Sonic warrior.
The power is in your mind to shake the planet, to conquer time.
Sonic warrior,
Deep is busy time.
Sonic warrior.
Whether in mind, nothing can stop the way to stay alive. If we try, you can do anything.
Sonic warrior,
Always takes a chance.
Sonic warrior.
Never say they can. Nothing can stop the way to stay alive. If we try, you can do anything.
You can go again. Don't fall behind. Say don't be late. Destination heaven. Stay alive. Now shoot me. We're going to have fun. Say, lights off. Excalibur. Drop that bar. What do you mean? Give and take. Going home. Time zone. Check it out, eh? Live alone. Leather legs. Getting in play. What do you get? Say, magic. Zoom room. Cosmic zoom. That's up J-Sonic boom.
Sonic warrior, Sonic warrior.
You always need a day. You got the power to save the day.
Take a little chance, slip on through. You got smart, no matter what you do. You gotta do for you.
Sonic warrior, Sonic warrior.
The power is in your mind to shake the planet, to conquer time.
Sonic warrior,
Deep is busy time.
Sonic warrior.
Whether in mind, nothing can stop the way to stay alive. If we try, you can do anything.
Sonic warrior,
Always takes a chance.
Sonic warrior.
Never say they can. Nothing can stop the way to stay alive. If we try, you can do anything.
You can go again. Don't fall behind. Say don't be late. Destination heaven. Stay alive. Now shoot me. We're going to have fun. Say, lights off. Excalibur. Drop that bar. What do you mean? Give and take. Going home. Time zone. Check it out, eh? Live alone. Leather legs. Getting in play. What do you get? Say, magic. Zoom room. Cosmic zoom. That's up J-Sonic boom.
Sonic warrior, Sonic warrior.
You always need a pay. You got the power to save the day.
Take a little chance, slip on through. You got smart, no matter what you do. You gotta do for you.
Sonic warrior, Sonic warrior.
The power is in your mind to shake the planet, to conquer time.
Sonic warrior,
Deep is busy time.
Sonic warrior.
Whether in mind, nothing can stop the way to stay alive. If we try, you can do anything.
Sonic warrior,
Always takes a chance.
Sonic warrior.
Never say they can. Nothing can stop the way to stay alive. If we try, you can do anything.
You can go again. Don't fall behind. Say don't be late. Destination heaven. Stay alive. Now shoot me. We're going to have fun. Say, lights off. Excalibur. Drop that bar. What do you mean? Give and take. Going home. Time zone. Check it out, eh? Live alone. Leather legs. Getting in play. What do you get? Say, magic. Zoom room. Cosmic zoom. That's up J-Sonic boom.
Sonic warrior, Sonic warrior.
You always need a day. You got the power to save the day.
Take a little chance, slip on through. You got smart, no matter what you do. You gotta do for you.
Sonic warrior, Sonic warrior.
The power is in your mind to shake the planet, to conquer time.
Sonic warrior,
Deep is busy time.
Sonic warrior.
Whether in mind, nothing can stop the way to stay alive. If we try, you can do anything.
Sonic warrior,
Always takes a chance.
Sonic warrior.
Never say they can. Nothing can stop the way to stay alive. If we try, you can do anything.
All right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's just test this out. All right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's just test this out. All right, sounds good to me. How we all doing? That's good. That's good. We are clear. Let's get a little closer. Let's get a little more in shot, shall we? Are we in good shot here? I'm glad to hear we are doing okay. Yeah, alright. Alrighty. I usually go straight away, but, you know, I think streaming protocol is usually that you're supposed to have a little funny in between standby where everyone gets here in time. I mean, I had to eat, so I wasn't really in the mood to be streaming and eating. Maybe I'll make a little animation and have like a little funny gif at the front or something if I can be bothered. But that's a story for another day. That's a story for another day. We're doing okay. I just finished a video, I think. The COVID mutation doesn't affect me. I'm not in the southeast. I don't know. We'll see how that goes down. I don't go outside, so it's not really an issue I'm worrying about. All right. Well, that's good. It looks like. All right. It looks like my new video has uploaded, and that should be out later tonight. Now, I don't even have a thumbnail for it yet, so maybe I'll make a thumbnail on stream, or maybe I'll just throw a random image from the movie in there. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm going for yet. This one's a little bit out there. How are we doing in the chat tonight, huh? Everyone's dealing with the existential dread of, you know, the plague. These waters are good. I'm gonna put that down here. Well, that's nice. Just hanging out. That's good to hear. Oh boy. I did not have much planning to do here, to be honest. That's okay, Hazel. That's fine. It's fine, you know. I know you like to nap around this time. Glad to see you here anyway. You might like my new video. Not because of the topic, but because there's like an AMV in the middle of it. Yeah, so I guess a little ground for everyone. Get my water while I'm at it. Yeah, I looked at a film today called Yona Penguin. AMLE, let's go, yeah. I think it's, what's the song? I think it's from Black Dress. Is it Black Dress? Is that the name of the band? It's like two girls. Black Dress. Is it Black Dress? Black Dress band. Yeah, Black Dresses. That's the one. That's what the song's from. Yeah. So it's gonna be. Penguins are always promising. This isn't Penguin Highway though. Unfortunately so. Oh shit, they favorite band? What up? Wait. Alright, yeah, Yona Penguin is the final film from Rintaro. Famous director Rintaro, we've covered him before on the channel. Galaxy Express 39, Metropolis. His version of the Phoenix, I think it was Ho-Ho Phoenix, as well as the X movie from 1990, is it 1998, I think? Armageddon. Yeah, the guy's had quite the career, let's put it that way. Unfortunately, I didn't think it was much of a promising film, but you'll see. It's kind of interesting because it's Madhouse's first 3D film, but it plays it very young. Okay, was that Shook Music? Hey Stephen, keep it up. Appreciate your video docu's, especially from Satoshi Kon. I'm glad you enjoyed. When my hand is recovered, when my hand is fully recovered, I would like to do something like that again in the future, but I have like a timetable down, so we're probably going to be talking about a lot of different things in the next couple of months, but a big series on a different director probably will be coming at some point next year. Oh, okay. Here is a cool question here. What Tezuka manga would I like to see readapted? I think it's probably going to be Phoenix. I'd probably like to see a new version of Phoenix, so like it will bring more attention to Phoenix itself as like a manga that you should be reading. That would be my choice. I don't really care too much about plot. I don't read comments and replies, so I don't really think that way about that sort of stuff. So I don't have one. And I'm glad Hazel that it's your favorite band. I didn't know it was your favorite band. I think they do slap though. I really do like the sound of black dresses. I think it's pretty cool. They seem to be. I don't know. When I thought about, I don't know. All right. When I was watching this film, I came to the end of watching it after I had fallen asleep 3 times. I was really, really out of it. I finished watching the film in full. And also it was on repeat. It was a really weird fever dream. The film was on repeat and it kept repeating as I was falling off and drifting, and I was like, oh fuck, I can't move. And then like there'd be another 20 minutes of the film play out, I fall asleep. The film started again by the time I'd woken up. Eventually I got through the whole thing, and I came out the end of the Yona Yona Penguin film saying, I don't know what the fuck to say about this film. I have a couple particular things to say about the technical stuff, but I have nothing to say with actually what happened in this film. I have no idea how I'm going to approach this. So, yeah, I just kind of went with it instead. What are my thoughts on Susumu Hirasawa, right? That's the composer who worked with Kon quite a lot. Yeah, his music is pretty cool. His soundtrack on Berserk, the original series Berserk, excellent. Well, probably one of my favorite soundtracks on any anime series. I don't think I can think of many that will top Berserk's. Am I into Japanese shoegaze? I don't really listen to too much Japanese shoegaze, but I think the genre is interesting enough. I listen to shoegaze from time to time. Though I haven't listened to it too recently, to be honest. Sounds like a great experience. I don't know if I would say it was a great experience, because Yona Yona Penguin is like kind of creepy, uncanny looking CGI film for like babies. So it was. Oh, and I had it on the English dub so I could write, and the English dub was so bad. Oh my god, the English dub. Well, I don't even know how I'd say it was like the worst thing ever, but it was so grating. Ooh, I listened to some of the Japanese afterwards and I was like, geez, I made the wrong decision. I should have listened to the Japanese. But even then, like, there's not a huge difference between the two in terms of, like, topic. I wish it was a great experience, but it was just, it was an experience, I'll say that much. Alright, let's get some more water in me before I burst. Have I seen Kaiba? No, I haven't seen Kaiba, but I know people who really like it. I'll probably end up watching it one day. I don't know if anyone that says that is... Well, if you can track down Yona Yona Penguin... yeah, give it a go if you want. It's what I would say about Yona Yona Penguin is that the backgrounds are really pretty and it's got some good color design. But I do think there's something kind of beautiful in my my attempt of making like a very intense AMV off the core plot of Yona Yona, which is like such a child-friendly film, and there's not exactly even like too many scenes that are like really dark and foreboded. Besides like its actual just design language being a bit uncanny, but there's really not that much going on, but it's just making this very like melodramatic AMV with that stuff was pretty funny. I think it's pretty hilarious. You know how black dresses are going really hard, and just the what they're playing next to is just so. I think it's a good combo. My uploads are incredibly unappreciated. Thanks. Well, I mean, I hope someone appreciates them, because you know, if they don't, it's gonna be a bit of a waste with the amount I'm uploading recently. Have I seen Fushigi? No, Fushigi Yugi. I do not know who that is. Oh, they're like a mangaka? Do I know them actually? Maybe I've talked about them before. What work have they done? Let's look at their manga things. List of Fujiki's chapters. Boys of Demon Stars, Princess Suzuki, Dangerous Love, Hidden Love, Priestess, Oracle, Discipline. Not really ringing a bell, I'm afraid. Not ringing a bell. Can you reveal what Black Dresses song it is? Are you? Do you want that to be a surprise? I'll leave it to be a surprise because I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, I'm afraid. So I'll have to leave it to be a surprise. It'd be too awkward for me to try and find it now. Underappreciated? Yeah, sure. I mean, I'll take it. I'll take a... Did I go to film school? Oh, fuck no. I did not go to film school. I went to illustration school, or what do you want to call it? I went to art university. I have an illustration in I have a BA in illustration. But I was also multidisciplinary, so I wasn't like traditional illustrator per se. Like I did a lot of mixed media stuff, which you see on my channel, right? You know, I did a lot of collage, inks, painting, animation. I guess there's like some drawing in there too, but it's a lot of collage, mixed media, texture, you know, print, etc., digital, compositing. I think my final projects were all mainly like animation stuff and concepts around that. So, but you know, I do like abstract animation. I'm not like a Miyazaki boy or anything. I'm more of a Roto kind of guy. What's up with the London COVID strain? You know, your guess is as good as mine, to be honest, because I don't live in London. Supposedly it's bad, but there's like not enough information out there to really know how bad it is until later. I mean, I guess it's bad enough that they like shut down the whole place, which, you know, is a little bit foolish to just shut down one part of the country if it's really that bad, because people will just spread out and run. But I don't know, I digress. What were we saying? I'm eating noodles with popcorn chicken. I would share it with you. I appreciate the sentiment, but I'm a vegetarian, so that's probably not good for me. But, you know, I wouldn't be against the noodles. Are we having a good one, Marcus? Is it Marcus Miller? What's my favourite Ghibli film? I usually answer this. It's Porco Rosso. That's my favourite Miyazaki, at least. My favourite Ghibli one. I mean, out of the other people who've worked at the studio, it's like Whisper of the Heart, obviously from Kondo. And from Takahata, there could be a couple. I do like Pompoko. I do really like My Neighbor Yamada's as well. What other things did he do at Ghibli that I quite liked? I mean, I do like Only Yesterday as well, but I probably like his ones after more. My gut would tell me Yamada's is the one I like the most, but Pompoko, it's been a while. I would like to rewatch Pompoko. I think that film's great. I would have loved to do a video on Pompoko, but Ghibli's just such a fucking difficult company to work with in terms of making videos that, like, it's just not really worth it right now. But maybe in the future, who knows, if I can, like, get them to strike every video that I've made about Ghibli films so I'm on the clear. I don't know, we'll see. Major Mustard, I appreciate that you like my videos. Thank you very much. Watching Tezuka's Princess Knights on Kuwait TV. Is that Kuwait TV? Huh. That's interesting. Is this like the original series from like the 60s? I don't know, it'd be on TV. That's actually pretty fascinating, you know? Princess Knight. Is this like the 60s? Oh god. So yeah, the 60s Princess Knights. I'm not getting out what I thought I would for that. But I don't know if they made did they make another version of that, or was it only the 60s one? Alright, and Annie Fred back with the tank top. Alright. I'm wearing one. I'm wearing one today. It's under the jacket. When do you think you'll see an anime related to the pandemic? Well, I have no idea. It depends on what Japan's feeling about it. It's not exactly hit Japan as hard as other places, so who knows? I mean, pandemic anime would be, well, pandemic as a topic is nothing new. Any future talks about KyoAni? I had a thought about this once, but I don't think I'm the right person to tackle KyoAni, unfortunately. Not like I don't like their work, because I do. I just think that when I tried to, when I was watching through stuff and making notes, I had nothing of interest to say about it. Like I couldn't think of anything to like bring up what I was like, yeah, this would be a good point to talk about. I was just blank. It was just like, haha, it's comfy. They eat tea and cakes. Haha. Oh, it's cute. Oh, that's some good animation chops right there. That's a good funny GIF. I like using that on Discord. Like that's not. I can't make a video out of that. Oh my god. Yeah, I like weird shit, so Pompoko's perfect for me. I wouldn't call Yamada. Would I call Yamada's minimalist? Probably not. I don't know if I would. It has a certain. There's like a particular style to it. It's more. What would be the word? I mean, it's more watercolor, right? It's more like a kind of like a watercolor sort of ink painting coming to life. It's more like that than I would say minimalist. Maybe in comparison to other Ghibli films, you could consider it minimalist, in that like it kind of does like cut away from different sort of aspects when it comes to backgrounds and such, kind of more essentialist. But I don't know if that would be the right term. Sound like a good video. Alright, well, not one I'm willing to make, unfortunately. Haven't heard of a remake adaptation of the manga. What of Princess? I don't know. Is there one? I don't read comics replies. I've already done a video on Initial D. Yeah, smuck. Come on, you gotta know what videos I've done before you ask me to do more. I've already done a video talking about Initial D and Eurobeat. It's called The History of Eurobeat Memes. I talk about Initial D pretty thoroughly in that one. As much as I'm willing to talk about it. I like that video. Go check it out. Not enough people watched it. The History of Eurobeat. I'm gonna put it in the chat right now. I'm gonna do it, everyone. I'm gonna put. Oh, don't press that button. YouTube.com. Where is the video I made? Several years ago? Or was it 2 years? I don't know when it was. Was it a year ago? Was it 2 years ago? I think it was a year ago. It's like a year and a bit ago. Where is it? There it is. There you are. Oh. Let's share it. Let's get a nice shareable link. Here we go. There's your fucking video. I'm gonna pin it too, just to spite you all. Alright, there we go. A complete unrelated video about Initial D and Eurobeat memes. There you go, that's what's happening. Alright, where were we? Would I be down to talk about Tokusatsu? Tokusatsu? Is that how you say it? That's how you say it, isn't it? Tokusatsu? Maybe one day. Maybe one day I have plans. Maybe I do have plans to talk about that one day, but not right now. Imagine anime would start setting things up during a pandemic to cut costs of animating faces and just put them. I mean, people in Japan already wear a bunch of masks, so it's not like they can't already do that. Have I seen Belladonna of Sadness? I have. I've seen it several times. I've seen it in the cinema, baby. I'm gonna outget all of you. I saw Belladonna in an independent cinema, and I also saw a pirate rip of it a year before from an old Laserdisc. It had terrible fan subs. This is before you could get it, and I also own it on Blu-ray from a collector's edition. So there you go. Most of my free flexes of Belladonna. I watched it once in really bad quality. I watched it in a cinema, and it was really fun. And I also own it. My Neighbor Yamada's is one of my favorite movies, regardless of the type of genre. Yeah, I mean, it's been a while, but I'll probably watch it again at some point. I really did enjoy Yamada's. I think about it a lot. Do I have any new anime recommendations that are directly influenced and inspired by Satoshi Kon, or has nobody come close? The thing about Satoshi Kon is he wasn't like super popular in Japan. Like, he was more popular internationally, like in France and America and such. Like places like that. Like his work, I don't know if it had, besides the people who knew him, I don't know if you're going to find people who are quite like him. He was a very particular creator. So, though I do recall Andrew Osmond wrote an article. If you go on my Satoshi Kon video, I think I link it as well. He wrote an article for, I think, a horror magazine like website, where he talked about like newer, more recent animations that were like influenced by Satoshi Kon's work. This could have been like Japanese, or I think it's mostly American maybe. But I can't think of anyone off the top of my head that does stuff like Satoshi Kon. That's not because Satoshi Kon is like the best director of all time or anything like that. It's just I think that his style wasn't like as infectious in like his circles. Besides maybe the people who've worked with him in the past. I mean, there are certainly other people in Madhouse who like you could say are comparable, or like comparable people in terms of like what they do. You know, they're like on the same levels of sort of doing things in that kind of way. If that be like the director of Technolize or the director of Monster, those kind of people. I think the Monster director's name's Kojima. I forget the name of the Technolize guy. But they certainly, you know, do their own thing, but kind of have similar sort of psychoanalytical sort of takes and stuff. Deja Vu is a good song. And hello, Floggy. I like your little emote there. I don't know where that emote's coming from, but it's very cute. A Godzilla video would be cool. Well, you know, my nephew used to really love Godzilla, so I had actually considered doing something like that, but if I do, I have to pick the right time and the right place, if you know what I mean. But, you know, maybe we'll talk about Godzilla one day, wink. Instead of crazy hair or character designs against normal-looking, dark-haired, dark-eyed people, separate areas from the main cast, they just do every single extra wearing mask. I mean, like I said, it's very common in Japan for people to be wearing masks, so it's not like they'd need a pandemic for that to like be a thing they'd add. I don't know, I think, to be honest, drawing masks is probably more effort, if I'm being blunt. Because if they're background characters anyway, you don't have to put a lot of detail on them. Like, drawing a mask would just be more effort. What is Fighter in the Wind? I don't even know what that is. Like a kung fu film, was it? Man, I got no time to watch anything right now. I'm not going to be watching random kung fu films. Hello, Playboy Nobi. I hope you're having a good one. Right. Let's get into this place. Okay. Right. Where's my water at? Man needs some water. This chair is very creaky, and it always has been. I don't know what to do about that. I guess it's just going to be creaky. It always seems to be. Yeah, I mean, today we're here to talk about Madhouse Month, really. Because this is the video before we release a new video, which is coming out a little bit later today. But I didn't make a thumbnail for it, so, I don't know. I have to decide if I'm going to do that on stream or not. I could probably, I don't know. I don't imagine this video will get any views either way. A preview of the new video. I mean, it doesn't really need to be a preview of the new video. It'll be out like as soon as I finish streaming. When I finish streaming, I'll just instantly upload it. I need a thumbnail though. I might just have to do it on stream. Maybe I'll find a clip from the film and just go with that. Oop. Yeah, my new video is just going to be me sitting down on this chair. That's my new video. It's just me sitting here. Not even talking about anime. This is just my new video right now. I love your videos on My Miracle and The Perfect World Kai. I'm glad. I don't remember if how the Kai video was. I don't really recall. I don't know. It was a bit of a fever dream making that video. I remember it got copyright claims, and I'm still fighting it to this day because I didn't have time to like re-edit it 1,000 times. But I really did like My Miracle, and the more I watched the clips back while I was editing, I was like, damn, I like this film even more now, which is not usually something that I can say happens. But like, I was just really enjoying looking through all the clips and rewatching the little bits and adding them in. It was a good time. Oh, Neptune Cactus, thank you very much. I'm glad that my videos have helped you very much. I really appreciate that, and I appreciate your donation. I guess I'll read it out in full because, you know, it's a nice little donation. Hey Stephen, I appreciate all the work you've been putting into Madhouse Month 2. Your videos have got me through a long, tough year. Thanks for introducing me to old and new films and music. Cheers. I appreciate that you enjoy the content we've been putting out. You know, I've just been doing what I've been doing, which I hope helps people get through, you know, because it's been a bit of a messy year for everyone, I think. But yeah, Madhouse Month still has a couple videos left, even though I'm starting to hang a little bit. I'm a little bit hanging, but I'll get through. I'll get through. If I made it through this video, I swear I can make it through the next two. The last video is going to be a fun one though, because I really want to make it. It's going to be a weird one to title it, but I'm doing a video on Oko's Inn. Oko's Inn is a fucking classic of the modern generation, even though it only came out like a year or two ago. Oko's Inn is great. I think I might have to call it something like Beyond Ghibli Oko's Inn. I think that might be a good title. I think it's snappy. Yeah, like the director of that film was known as like the second, well, he was like the right-handed Miyazaki after Kondo passed away, and he was like Kondo's animation director. There's a lineage there, right? So like Yoshifumi Kondo was like Miyazaki's second hand in a lot of times, but Kosaka also did a lot of work as an animation director for all of them, like most of Miyazaki's productions, especially the newer ones. He was on a lot of them, so he's pretty well known. He worked in Madhouse a lot as well. He worked on a lot of projects to do with like the creator of Monster and such. But like Kosaka also did these. I did a video on it must have been earlier this year, on the cycling anime he did, Nazu, Summer in Andalusia, and I think it's called the what was it, Migratory Bird Suitcase or something like that. Both of those are excellent, like short OVAs. Really would recommend them. Lots of fun, and his debut is just better. You know, he's just better. I haven't seen Miyazaki's Nutcracker drawing. I can't say. That's different. Is that new or old? Did he do that right now? Yeah, the chair's gonna eat me one day, you guys. Am I a gamer? That's an interesting question. Are you a gamer? Am I a gamer? Let me tell you something about gamers. One day they'll rise up. I mean, I've played a lot of video games in my time. Not really much these days because I'm busy. And also my hand's fucked. Though my hand is getting better, guys. I actually bought a new mouse. Look at this. It's a new mouse. This is what they call a... Someone said something about last time about vertical mice. But the ones I saw were all really expensive, so I looked for a cheaper one. And I bought one because editing is just too much pain with a normal mouse. But I think this one has caused me less strain. It feels like there's less strain on my wrist. If I get any strain, it tends to be on the thumb now, or like the joint, like where the thumb is here, opposed to like in the inner side of the inner wrist. So I think it's done some good. It feels a little bit weird. It doesn't quite move like I'd like sometimes, but I think it's done some good for the amount of time I have to be using a mouse. But yeah, I mean, I used to like JRPGs, but I never have the time to finish them, ever. Never, ever have the time to finish them, so it's not really a viable thing. Do I enjoy bad movies or a series for being bad? That because you're funny? I mean, it's kind of an interesting way of looking at it. I mean, I've watched plenty of schlock before, and I think there's an appreciation to schlock or bad movies, I guess. I think there can be fun in watching that sort of stuff, though. I mean, it can also be really boring, so it's good to watch it with someone else, because sometimes you just be like, well, what's the purpose of this? But I don't know. Sometimes sometimes bad movies are actually good. You know, sometimes they're actually really enjoyable to watch for reasons that aren't necessarily traditionally why we enjoy things, and I think that's okay. So are they even bad films at that point? Maybe in like a traditional sense. Like me watching Samurai Cop, right? If I'm going to watch Samurai Cop, which I've done many a time with friends and things, Samurai Cop is not a traditionally good film. In fact, it fails like a lot of film conventions, and yet it's still very compelling to watch because it's just funny and awkward and, I don't know, kind of absurd in like a what were they thinking ways. It becomes in itself its own puzzle piece of like, why is this the way it is? But yeah, Samurai Cop is a fun film to watch with friends. As long as they know that it's going to get really cringy at times and, nudity and other weird stuff. You have a very underrated backlog, through, not going to lie. Especially people can keep asking for videos you've already made. Yeah, there you go. I mean, I haven't done a traditional Initial D video, but I think that one's as good as you're going to get, considering Initial D is so like cemented within those memes. Watched Hell's and my videos before stream. Hell yeah, Door. Hell yeah. My GF has just got fired from. Oh Jesus Christ, that really fucking sucks. Getting fired around this time. At a museum as well. Oh damn. It's like a publicly owned museum. Is it just that they can't keep up? I mean, I don't know. It sucks either way. Quite frankly. Museum sounds like kind of a pretty nice job to do, actually. I'd always thought working in a museum would be quite fun. I'm doing alright though. I mean, during the pandemic I'm fine because I'm in a secure living situation and I have savings, and the channel's doing okay. I mean, it doesn't make like proper money, but it makes a little bit. I get by. But I'm a special circumstance, I suppose, in a lot of ways. Yeah, they're new drawings, are they? Oh, I haven't seen them yet. That's pretty cool. What happened to my hand? Overwork, I guess. I did too much work on the Satoshi Kon video, and I had to finish it. And it went a little far, and I got carpal tunnel in the wrist, in the hand, and it's been a very slow and like up and down recovery since late August. I think we're starting to make some really strong progress. After talking to the doctors, and they told me what I should be doing. So basically I just wear my cast at mostly all times. Like, I think wearing it at night has been one of the best things for it, just because it keeps it like in place. It doesn't like flop around too much. So I think that's helped it heal a lot. But yeah, I generally just wear it all the time because I'm always working anyway. So, but yeah, the new mouse, I think has sort of taken a lot of the strain off it as well. So we're getting there. I wouldn't say it's perfect right now, but I probably could draw a couple things without it being like an issue. Game has stepped down. Yeah, there you go. Any thoughts on Welcome to the NHK? I watched it like when I was 16. I don't remember much about it. I thought it was good at the time, I guess, but I haven't thought much about it since. Hello, Abdul. How you doing? Well, Welcome to the NHK is an anime that came out in like, I want to say 2009 or something like that. It came out quite a while ago. Hey, Bread. How's the bread going? How you loafing about these days? Rafi, I appreciate your comments. We got more videos coming. Oh. Yeah, it was painful for a while. Nowadays, it's kind of just more annoying. But it was annoying. It was worrying for a while. I have to be more careful in the future, I guess. But I do have a brace now, and generally, from what I've been told, like it's probably just good to wear the brace when you draw, regardless, just because it takes a little of the strain off. So that's my plan in future, is just to keep wearing the brace when I'm doing like very like intensive stuff with drawing or editing. Maybe I'll just wear it during work in general, just to give it a bit of protection. Hello, Richard. How are you doing, Richard? I hope you're doing well during the pandemic. Nice to see you here. Have you looked into the new Ghibli film about... No, not really. I know there's a CGI one coming out, but I won't be covering it because Ghibli would instantly strike me. So fuck them. I'm not going to give them free publicity on their new film if they're going to just like attack me during it. So the best thing I could have done was a shit post, but I've got too much work to do like during like I have a lot of things planned in the next couple of months, so I don't have time to be shit posting about their films. Monte Cristo, how many views per video is your aim? How many views would you need to sustain an output long term? It doesn't really work that way. It's not like a view. It's difficult to explain, but like it's not necessarily the views you get. It's like the views on what videos. Sometimes it's to do with watch time. Like specific videos that are longer and do well will make you a lot more money than videos that are like getting more views but are much shorter. I mean, generally there's no set thing of being like, hey, I hope this video gets this amount of views. It's just like get the most views it can possibly get. That's how it be, you know. So I don't know how you could sustain it long term. It's kind of sometimes YouTube does feel like an unsustainable path for a lot of things unless you can find alternative ways to like monetize yourself. I mean, who knows? We'll see. Yeah, but ideally the number would be the lots. that would be the number. Working hard and playing lots of World of Warcraft. I'm glad I'm hearing you working hard. I don't play WoW myself, but I know people that do. If you get something out of it, I'm glad. I don't watch Christmas films that much, Snowbie, so I don't really have much preference on them. Have I ever read Billy Bat? No, I have not. I'm doing okay. Today's alright, you know. Do I do anything else on the side while I draw? I mean, I can't really draw right now because of my hand. But yeah, I mean, sometimes I'll listen to music and such. It depends on what I'm feeling. But yeah, usually I'll put something on in the background just to like, you know, be there. Company, you know. It's a bit silent otherwise, but I can just draw on my own if need be. But I mean, it's good to have something playing. I used to listen to a lot of music while I was doing stuff. That was what I used to do. Yeah. Whew. I'm getting tired. I shouldn't be. Alright. So yeah, later on today we should have the new Madhouse video out on Yona Penguin. I think that's the one, Yona Penguin. Yona Penguin, that will be the film we're talking about today. From Rintaro, CGI film from Madhouse. The first and last CGI film from Madhouse. That will tell you how well it did. French collaboration. That's what we're talking about. It's going to be a bit of a weird one. That'll be out later. Yeah, maybe I'll do a thumbnail stream in a bit. Maybe I'll have to start making one. I'll probably have to search through for like a I might just use just a random shot for the film. That might just do. Where are we at? It's too broad to ask what makes a great director. There's a lot of things that can make a great director. It depends on like what they're going for. But there are many different directors who are great in many different ways. So I don't think it's really as simple as like a one shoe fits all kind of thing. A lot of great directors, I guess, are quite brazen. That's usually what they. I mean, that's probably a combo of a lot of them. Is that, you know, to get the one shot that they needed to get where they were, or to get them on the map to begin with, usually takes a bit of guts to do something that's a bit more out there, or like you have to lie and cheat, blag it, do stuff like that, you know. I don't know. It's too broad of a question. Just got out of school, now I can relax. Well, that sounds pretty good. Glad you can chill out for a bit, you know? I think we all need to chill from time to times. And I don't do favourite songs, Mishka. Unfortunately, I don't think that way. I don't think like one favourite song or anything like that. I don't do that thing. I move around a lot when it comes to music. It's whatever my preference is at the time. There's no particular song on the top of my head right now where I'm like, that's the song I want to listen to forever right now. So no. And I'm not really huge on subscription-based streaming services unless they're willing to pay me to say I am. I'm more of a buy guy, just because I have a particularness about money in and out. I prefer my money to go out in like set pieces that I decide. So if I bought a streaming service, I'd probably have like a set amount, like I do, like, all right, a year, that's it, cut off. That's probably how I'd think about it. I wouldn't like just keep it running. Is it me, or are videos with text on the thumbnail get wider traction? I think it can depend on a lot of things. It can be more immediate. I guess it can be more immediate for like your viewers, that like you don't have to read the title, you can just look at the thumbnail and know what it's about. I don't think it's always the case though. Bomberman Mecha anime? Madhouse's Bomberman Mecha? I have no idea. Is this Bomberman like the video game? I have no idea. I came here because of your good looks. Oh, okay. And great taste in movies. Oh, that's a double. That's that's a double up, I guess. Have I heard of the band Knife and Fever Ray? Yeah, I know who they are. I know the Knife quite well. I like their 2003 album quite a bit. Heartbeat? Is Heartbeat the track on that one? I like their generally the whole album there. The 2006 album also has quite a couple of bangers on it. Those two albums I'm pretty fond of, yeah. I think they have a very particular sound. I listen to a little bit of Fever Ray, but I'm more accustomed to a Knife than I am of her stuff. But I mean, it's, you know, pretty cool, I guess. But yeah, I like the Knife. Knife is a pretty good synth duo. Very cold and atmospheric. That's what I'd say. Alright, man, you tell me on top of film school I gotta learn how to lie and cheat? Yes, you do, unfortunately. Have you ever heard that? What's his name? God, what's his name? What's his name? He's, the guy who did the Grizzly Man. What's his name? Grizzly Man. Werner Herzog. Yeah, German director Werner Herzog. You know? Haven't you ever seen Werner Herzog? You know, he's just like, when I was 20, I stole a camera and I decided it was my dream. It was my my destiny to be a director. That's probably like that's a terrible accent, but that's what I assume Werner Herzog sounds like. But Werner is such like a madman. But like, yeah, like a lot of directors, they get their start because they have to be a bit ballsy. The industry is cut. It's cutthroat. I think nowadays it's a bit harder to do it in like the way people did back in the 70s. But you might have to like blag it a bit. Like if you've ever seen directors talk about their early days, like James Cameron, you know how James Cameron's out in like the desert, like recording on his own, doing the Terminator film with one camera, hoping that, because he doesn't have a permit, so he's hoping that no police or people will see him like record, because it's illegal to record in those areas without a permit, but he's doing it anyway. Like a lot of shots he did in that film were that way. You got to be willing to break the rules a little bit to be a filmmaker. I think that's probably a good thing to stay, because making films is hard, and you've got to take any advantage you can, I'm afraid. Especially in the early days. Oh, are they Swedish? Is the Knife Swedish? I mean, I really do like the Knife, as a band. I haven't listened to them in a while, but yeah, the 2003 out. I used to listen to something on repeat. They used to have like a live set that was really cool on YouTube. It might have got deleted. It was just like a live set they did of a lot of the earlier tracks. It was a good time. I used to listen to it quite a bit. Though I have a 1921 Swedish movie planning to watch. I don't know. What's it called? Herzog really... Yeah, Herzog... Alright, this is a fun one. This is a... Alright, yeah, this is the thing. Monty Crispin. Have I heard of the cat soup author Neko Duri? This is some weird stuff about her. There is some weird stuff about her? Love your work, you brother. Thank you, Monte Cristo. I appreciate the $5. I've watched the movie version of Cat Soup. I don't know anything about the author. Is that Neko Duri? I mean, is this weird stuff that they're like a criminal or something? Because that's not great if that's true. Was it like a manga first, or is it just a film? Experimental film inspired of the work of the manga artist Neko Duri. It's just like who is this? Who are they? Penne Neko Duri, a manga artist. Alright, so she debuted back in the day. She passed away. Oh, that's unfortunate. Two main characters were selected for the Tokyo promotional campaign. Of the death of their creator caused that to be cancelled. Okay, sad times. Yeah, I don't know. Sounds like she had a hard time. Yeah, Herzog is a movie character itself. Yeah, Herzog is really like a wild guy. He's so funny, and like sometimes they do just put him in movies. There's one particular scene I saw right of I think it's from like a Jack Reacher film or something. It's just from some shitty action film, but they brought Werner Herzog in to be the villain, and he has this like really intense like monologue, and it's like, and he gets a man to like eat his own fingers, and it's like, whoa, this is amazing. And then it's like, oh, I guess the rest of the film is probably terrible though. But just having Werner Herzog on set to like give a speech in itself is kind of a wonderful thing. Like they just throw him in movies. I mean, he's not even like a traditional actor, but he was in fucking Mando, like the Mandalorian, and he's just there, like, and like he gives these like his interviews afterwards are just so funny, where he just talks about like the baby Yoda. I thought the baby Yoda was so magical, I almost forgot that he was a puppet and stuff like that. Where he's like, "You cowards, you cannot turn it into CGI." He's like chastising the crew for even thinking about making the baby Yoda into like a CGI thing, like going over the puppet or something. It's kind of amazing, like, and I don't know why they got rid of him so quickly. Maybe because he just, he's not an actor. He's gone off making films. I'm sure he doesn't have time. But yeah, he's just such a character. In all his films, really, he's just like the way he goes on about stuff in his like pompous way, talking through things. The way he just actively lies to his audience as well. I always find that in itself, that he's like an unreliable narrator. He makes his films as like fantasies, even when they're documentaries. I didn't play the remake of Shadow Colossus, but I'm a fan of the original game for sure. I think I'd borrowed the HD collection from a friend that I went to college with, but I haven't given it back. But I haven't had time to replay the game. I'd like to play the HD collection version, but I do have the original PS2 somewhere as well. It's a good game. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Phantom Carriage is from 1921. I like myself some old films. I was watching Die Nibelungen. Not so long ago. Die Nibelungen. One of the two. You know, from director of Metropolis. Based on Siegfried the myth. The old German Siegfried myth. Have I seen Enter the Void? Yeah, I did see that a while ago. It's pretty out there, I guess. Very art housey. I don't recall much about it, to be honest. I watched it so many years ago, but it's kind of interesting, I guess. I don't know. Didn't leave a huge impact on me, I guess, because I don't remember enough about it. Madhouse made the game franchise first animated adaptation, stuck on VHS, though gained a tiny cult following. I have no idea what you're talking about in that context. You can make a full movie with his relationship and Klaus Kinski. He's the really he like really what would you call it, unhinged man. He's very out there, troubled individual perhaps. Very erratic. Yeah, you totally could make a documentary about their relationships. That is exactly. That he continued to work with him for so many years in itself is a testament to how, like, Werner Herzog is just in it. He's just there. Like, he doesn't care how he gets to, like, the outcome. He'll just do whatever. And I think that's impressive that he's willing to do that. It's cool, I guess. Alright, 9 o'clock. So, yeah, where do we go for, let's say another hour, maybe? I have to make a thumbnail still. Alright, so I'm going to just look through the film, I guess, for a second. I wonder if I can even do that. I'm going to mute. I'm going to have a look through the, like a version of the film right now. I'm gonna, you can leave your questions in the chat, I guess, but I'm going to look through, God, where did I leave the file? Jesus Christ. Yona. There it is. Water. I'm gonna have a skim through the film until I find a frame, but I think will be good for a scan. For a thumbnail. Let's have a look through. I mean, I think a big screamy face will probably do it. I don't know. Why not? Let's have a look. Where are we at? But that's what I've been doing today. I've just been mainly editing. We've got 3 more films. Oh, okay, what about... You know, that could be a good contender. That could be a good contender there. Well, we screen grabbed that one. Yeah, because we have 3 films left. After today, we have... I think it's 3 films left. Including today, is it? No. Yeah, we have 3 films left after today. And then it's the end of Madhouse month. So we've got... The Tibetan Dog, which I've seen before. It's kind of a unique film, unique setting. Don't know if it completely works. I think it's an issue of adaptation when you're bringing things that's like a huge book series and trying to turn it into a 90-minute movie. I think that's always going to be an issue. And then the other one, I think it's called The Pilot and the Princess. I have no idea if that's good or bad. I'm basically having to wing it on that one. It could be terrible, it could be complete trash, but I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea if it's going to be trash or not. Oko's Inn is a classic though, that's all I can say. Up there with My Miracle. Both of those have been definitely great. I mean, Bloodlust too. Bloodlust, My Miracle, and Oko's Inn. Probably the 3 best of the 10 films we're going to go through, I'd say. I mean, that really depends on how good that other one is, I guess, but I think that's where we're at. What do we got? I found a couple good frames, so I'll look for some more. But let's see what the chat's saying. Alright, have a good one, Richard. I hope you're having a good one, playing WoW and working hard. Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get to play the new Shadow, but, maybe one day I'll get to play it. You have a good one, alright? Are there any video ideas that you deem too controversial to explore? Well, the issue for me, I think... Oh, okay. Yeah, the issue I see with covering certain... Let me have a look through these frames. Alright, so the issue of covering certain topics to me is more about, like, how YouTube will take it. There are some ideas I have which I know would probably get like an 18s only rating, or won't get monetized, or will have controversy monetized, or could get me a community guideline strike because of the topics they cover. Oh, that's Cat. You coming in? You coming in? You coming in? You coming in? No? Ah, okay. Guess she's not coming in. Yeah, there are a couple projects. Oh, okay, I've missed my... What do I want? This one? Yeah, there are a couple, there are definitely a couple topics I have what I know would be harder to, like, do. It wouldn't necessarily stop me from doing them. I think it's just, like, you have to... If you've got a video that you know is going to be, like, either adults only or demonetized or somewhere in between those where it's going to have limits on it, you really have to hope that it's going to do well or it's going to pick up an audience. Because controversial topics can pick up a really good audience on YouTube, but it's really difficult because they need to be specifically, like, they need to hit in that good sweet spot where a lot of people are instantly interested in that topic regardless. And then there are other ways you can get on top. You could do a sponsorship or something like that. So there isn't too many topics I wouldn't like to touch, but they are harder for me to do, I think, in the long run, because there's only so many of those topics I have in mind, and I can't really make a career off it, I don't think, as a whole. So it's quite difficult. But, like, say for example, topics like I think the Annie Rama trilogy probably wouldn't get me demonetized or adults only, but there's definitely a lot of stuff in there. It might get me demonetized. But yeah, the Annie Rama, I'd still probably cover it, but, like, that you'd have to tread lightly on that one. And then there's another video I know I'm doing later next year, which will be quite difficult not to get an adults only rating on. And then what about something like Erogoro? There was a video topic I wanted to cover. At one point I wanted to talk about the history. I thought that'd be a unique topic, and I think it's one that hasn't been covered very much, but it's going to be a difficult one to do market-wise, because it probably would definitely get an 18s only rating, just because I don't think there's any way I can talk about it in a safer work way, which will not feel completely neutered and, like, actually hurt the video. Alright, this frame is probably the one. I think I've got the frame I want. Jodorowsky. I've got the Inkle comic somewhere myself. I've read a fair bit of it. Yeah, he's interesting. Holy Mountain, pretty out there. Definitely his films are all unique in their own fashion. He's apparently a bit of a wacky guy, perhaps a bit controversial, I think, in some circles. But his films are definitely unique. I've not seen Paprika. Is it any good? Paprika is probably my least favourite con movie, but a lot of people do really like it. Probably worth a go anyway. It's probably the biggest production he did, so, and it has a lot of, like, unique stuff going on with it in terms of the dreams. Cat versus Cat, eh? Nice. Nice beard. I grew it myself, What kind of topics are you talking about? I don't know. Someone was... Oh, topics. What do you mean, like the controversial ones? I think I just elaborated on that, didn't I? I don't know who Halle Sandy Bell is, so I wouldn't be able to tell you. Is it Anime Rama or Annie Rama? Let me just check. It might be Anime Rama. Anime-rama? Okay, it's Anime-rama. Like that. They were made by Tezuka Productions, and actually one of them was covered recently by I think his name is it Saberspark? Big YouTuber covered one of them recently and actually got a lot of viewership on it. So it's probably the time to hit them would probably be soon. Off the people who now like know more about it. But yeah, there's 3 of them. There's was it 1001 Nights, which it's a pretty unique version of the adaptation. Covers the source material maybe a little bit more accurately in some ways and a little bit looser in other ways. Then there is Cleopatra, which is the second one, which is probably the most uneven, but the most one easiest to gawk at. And the third one's Belladonna, which is definitely the best of the 3 in my eyes. I think that's definitely a cult classic, a very cool film. Do I ever wish I'd lived in the world presented in Japanese films? No, that sounds fucking weird. No, I couldn't do that. I mean, there's a difference between fantasy and reality, and I don't know why specifically I'd want to live in a Japanese film. I don't know. I'm not really. If I wanted to live in a Japanese place, I'd go to Japan, you know. So I'm good. I don't have it, guys. I don't know. I always get strange questions like this where people ask me my favorite thing. I don't have favorite things. That's not how I think about stuff. I don't think about stuff as like there is only one favorite. There's like a lot of things, but they usually go up and down. So I don't really. I don't know. These things change so much that I don't really know how I'd put them into like words. Like games I really like, games I've had a strong connection to in the past. Like Metal Gear Solid 3, I guess. Metal Gear Solid 3. Don't know if I can. Anything else come to mind? I used to really like Jedi Outcast, or like Jedi. What would it be called? Dark Forces 2. Those two. The original Doom, I guess. Is that kind of? Yeah, I'd say original Doom, maybe. I don't know. I'm not talking about video games right now. Yeah, the first not safe for work. The first not safe for work anime movie that was released in theaters was 1969. So, in comparison to like the stuff out today, it's pretty tame, but it's pretty artsy. So it's probably easy enough to get away with that one. But yeah, I'd have to tread quite carefully with those 3. I might be able to blag it and get away with releasing that as a monetized video, but it's debatable. It's very debatable, especially the topics I'd have to talk about within the film, within the video would have to be like quite blunt, strong. So I don't think I'd get away with monetizing a video on like that. I played the original Quake, but it didn't really do it for me the same way. Maybe because I was playing it on hard and I was just finding it draining. But I don't know. The Artisan Geek. I don't know if this has been asked already, but does your approach to making anime videos differ from video to video? It really depends on the approach I'm going for, but most of the time it won't dramatically change unless it's a very different type of video. Like, if it's a video where I have to do a lot of grunt work, let's say, things could be different. Now, if I'm doing a lot of animation or imagery, or if I'm having to do lots of like transitions, it depends on where the video is, right? Like a video where we're talking about more than just the anime and maybe the backstory of the director, or if we're making a really big video, the approach is going to differ because it's much bigger, and I'm going to have to like compartmentalize the process of making it. into little like subsections. If we're talking about a director and we're talking about lots of different anime, that's going to be the same case. Especially if we're talking about lots of TV shows as opposed to just like a movie. If I'm talking about strictly one movie, and it's a more smaller affair video, it's probably going to be quite simple because it's going to be mainly clip selection from one big clip, and I won't have to worry. Those things are usually the fastest to edit. But there may be lots of factors. Like maybe we're talking about something, maybe we're talking about an anime film that has very little footage. So maybe I'm on camera more, so that's a different kind of approach to editing. Maybe we're going in and out from me talking about something and then going back into the footage. If it's a bigger affair video coming in the future, that might happen more, where we're talking about like a bigger, bolder topic, so I might be on camera more to try and loosen up the amount of editing that needs to be done in terms of like clip selection. But yeah, like there's gonna be like, so the biggest difference is gonna be the topic and what we're using and where we are at. A lot of the time, how much information I have, how much content I'm going for. I think the size of a project probably matters more than like the topic, maybe. If I'm dealing with music, it's like a very different game than like anime. Because with music, usually there isn't as much imagery to work with, so you have to do a lot more inventive stuff with how you fill in your time, what you're looking at, what you're archiving. So that can be a very different game. Where like with anime, usually you have, the priority of your video, if you're talking about an anime, is going to be the clips that you're showing of it. Because ultimately, the video is in service of the thing that you are what you're making people look at. Usually you're recommending something, or you're talking about it because you think there's something interesting to like pick apart. So that is going to be the focus. That's how I see it, at least. Hey Gabe Newell, how you doing? I also used to like point and click games. I like a fair few point and click games, though. I'm not very good at puzzles, so I'm not like, I like in principle what a point and click game is, but I'm really bad at them. Absolutely terrible. I'd really like to get into. I have a friend who's like a huge Myst fan. I'd really like to get into Myst, but I think I wouldn't be able to do it alone. I think I'm too much of a baby brain. My forte was at art, not puzzle solving. I've heard was it Kentucky something Zero is really good. I'd like to play that one. I think it's finished now. I heard about it in like early access for a while, or like it's chapters, but now I think it's like a full game. So maybe I'll actually try and play that. Maybe it's a bit more. Maybe I'll get on that more. I have Grim Fandango somewhere, but I never finished it. I did like the Monkey Island games, the first two. I had the special editions of those, and I think the hint system made it bearable. I had played that with a couple of different people, those two. Fun times. I do like the atmosphere, the storytelling of those sort of games. Is the old gen anime and anime movies better than the new gen? I think it's a bad question to ask that, because that's going to be a really big preference answer. And I don't really like to play that game, because I think it leads to like boomerism, where people will start playing this, like the movies I grew up with are better than the movies you grew up with, and I don't think that's worth having the conversation. There will always be great movies coming out all the time, and if anything, there's more coming out now, because the amount of movies coming out, or the amount of series coming out, is just so much higher. But then you also have to like siphon through that all and find the ones that you like, which is a lot more hard. The greatest movies that came out maybe in these decades that are happening now won't even probably be decided for another 20 years, when they finally, the dust has settled and we've all decided that sort of. And I mean, things are always changing, so who knows. Ayan, congrats on the 400k on the Satoshi Kon videos. Do you usually know which videos will get a lot more views when you're working on them? No, I have no clue. I hoped the Satoshi Kon video would get a lot more views, obviously, because I was, I had a really nice thumbnail for it. The title is you know, enough baits that it will probably get a lot of people looking at it. And it was released just around the right time. It was released just the day after his anniversary. So I had kind of like the three magical things running there. I had a title and a thumbnail and a trending position in time, where all those things came together very nicely and they worked in my favor. And sometimes, you know, you sometimes think, oh, this video will do well, and then it doesn't, or this video will do, you don't really think it's going to do well, and it does. It's really a game with YouTube, and a lot of it is kind of random. You can certainly stack the deck in your favor, but like that Satoshi Kon video could have completely crashed and burned. I mean, I could have maybe, you know, I might have thought I would be lucky to get 50k on it, like the day before I released it, like realistically, to be like, well, you know, it's kind of, in the end of the day, Satoshi Kon videos sometimes do very well, but most of the time they don't, unless you're a very specific couple of people. But that it did so well was encouraging. I think it happens that he has a very passionate fan base, and I released it just at the right time. But yeah, it's really hard to tell sometimes, honestly. To be, because I have videos I've done where I'm like, I can't see how this would get a lot of viewership, and like they just did, you know. So for example, like my video on The King and the Mockingbird, I never really expected that to get 100,000 views. I mean, 10,000 was cool, and I thought it was doing alright for what it was, but like a film that obscure getting 100,000 views is, I don't know, to me that seems quite rare. Or like maybe the Barefoot Gen video, I didn't really expect that to keep moving at the speed it's moving now. I didn't think that would happen. It just is, I guess. So yeah, I mean, sometimes stuff happens. I mean, the Harmageddon video got way more viewership than I could have ever expected, but it's got a pretty good baity title, good thumbnail, and it has Akira in the title, and I guess those are the three winners, I suppose. But I don't know, maybe I could, who knows? It's a bit of a gamble. Do I plan to do more collaborations in the future? Yes, I do. Yeah, a lot of there are a lot of Japanese animation that never reach. There's a lot of Japanese media that never reaches the West. But yeah, there is a lot of stuff that probably isn't subbed, or I mean, even when you're talking about like above the board, like if we're talking about like independent animation, then hell yeah, of course. Like if it wasn't released like through distributors, there's gonna be a lot of independent, smaller stuff that never reaches. There's gonna be a lot of stuff from the past that never got subtitled, or there's gonna be stuff that just falls through the cracks. Less so nowadays, but it could still be happening. It's hard to keep up with everything these days. Yeah. Here's the Monkey Island games are pretty cool. The first two, at least, those are the ones I know the best. Though I did play through the what was it, Telltale one. I played through the Telltale one. It was okay. Some episodes were better than others. I did try and play the third game once upon a time. I didn't get too far in it though. Kentucky Route Zero. There you go. Issa, thank you. Is it Issa? Thank you, Issa. Awesome content. I appreciate your comment. Thank you very much. A question about Yuasa. Their references to the Yakuza, I have no idea. Do they have reference? I don't know, like I haven't seen either of those. I've read Go Nagai. I've read Devilman, but I haven't watched Yuasa's version. So I have nothing to say about it. I don't know. Would it be safe to say that the effort going into a current film is less than the past? No! Jesus fucking Christ. There's more effort nowadays. Fucking hell. Oh my god. Absolutely there's more. There's more people working on them than there ever was in the past. Jesus Christ. You know how hard it is to make a film? You know how expensive it is? Do you know how much like compositing work they have to do? The amount of like the amount of people working on these things is even like, it's ridiculous. I mean, the way it is much different. It's different. Cell animation is the fucking nightmare. If you've ever had to work on cells, it's the worst thing in the world. I would never wish it on my worst enemies. So working digitally is easier, but it doesn't mean that the process is easier, especially with the amount of crunch going on. I mean, crunch, I don't know, what do they call it in the animation world? Just like what day-to-day working, being exploited. It's probably worse now than it was back in the 80s. just because the amount of productions expected to work on is much higher, and the demand is like through the roof. Though crunch happened back in the 80s too, to different effects, but yeah, no, ridiculous take. All right, goodbye, Abdul. The Artisan Geek. Do I have any opinions on Shoujo? Shoujo's cool. I like Shoujo. I once actually read this article about what do they call themselves? The Year 40 group, is it? From like 1968, 1969, like the period where like female writers got like huge into the shoujo realm, because before then it was mainly written by men, and there was this big revolutionary transition. I remember reading this in it was an illustration magazine that my university had. I actually had a copy of it. I can't believe I like lost it. It must have been thrown out or something. But I had this. It was a really fascinating article about like this their strive, like, and how like these artists just really hit it off, and how like passionate their audience were at the time. Like how like it was like women telling women stories, and being very experimental while doing it. And they talked about how like the young women would react to it at the time. Yeah, it was such a great topic, to be honest. Really fascinating stuff. I think they talked to some of the people from the past as well. I don't know, it's been a while since I've read the article. Obviously it's hard to find now. But yeah, I think it's I think they got it's very broad, it's very broad, but yeah, I think a lot of it's very cool from what I've seen of it. Oh my god, Ryan, I did not say budget, I said team. It's a big team, it's lots of concepts, but the budget is one factor in those things. The budget's being bigger, it's not about quality, it's about the size of people working on the productions. Jesus fucking Christ. Kind of have to... When you have a bigger business... Anime is bigger now. There's more stuff coming out that's faster, stronger, longer. All that stuff's happening. You have a lot more people working on it. There is a huge difference between the amount of people working on a Studio Ghibli film in 1985 than there is working on one today, because of how much bigger the company is as it stands and how much more resources it has to work with. And that's generally how it goes for most of the industry, unless we're talking about independent anime. But back in the day, smaller teams, or working in-house, doing their thing, it's a bit different now. Well, it's a lot different now. And stuff like in-betweens, like back in the day, in-betweens would be done at the same studio, like the same production house would have an in-between staff. Nowadays they're exported to different countries. It's all very different. And wider and bigger, and maybe more exploitative. Have I worked in the film industry? Oh fuck no, god no, that sounds gross. I've got some friends that have worked in like sections, who used to work at the BBC or did media, like for tech degrees or whatever, but I don't know if I'd want to work in the film industry in the broad sense. Independent stuff, maybe, but it's working in the team is very stressful, very very stressful. It's not really for me. I want my hair to be like yours. I mean, this is how my hair like grows. I don't know. This is just how it is when I wake up in the morning. Don't know if you've discussed this before, but do you ever think of doing a video on manga and manga? Someone asked this last time, but I just hate doing manga videos in terms of like editing. I hate editing like manga panels. So like I'm not against. I mean, there probably will be times where I might talk about it, but I just hate the editing manga panels so much. So like I wouldn't hold your breath for it. But if I do, it'll be under specific circumstances. Cell animation has a unique aesthetic. I mean, I don't know. I honestly don't believe most fans could actually tell the difference if I showed like side-by-side footage sometimes. I think they can tell the difference, but I don't actually think they know what the difference is. Like, you kind of have to have a keen eye for it, but like you can emulate like that stuff if really easily. It doesn't take much, especially with new, like, you know, a lot of animators, they can use like Clip Studio Paint these days. Clip Studio Paint has a really good amount of brushes, and some of them can emulate like different materials very well, to the point where like if they really wanted you to not know, they probably could do it. I mean, all it would take is like, you know, picking a more like, what would you call it, picking a very selective color palette, using some texture overlays, and using the right brushes on the line work, maybe adding a bit of noise to the top of it, maybe you like tone down the dots per inch or whatever, you hand paint the backgrounds or something, or you do something like that. You kind of add all the texture overlays, you don't over paint, you keep it simple, and then if you export it at 240p, people wouldn't be able to tell the difference. But I mean, even if you had it at 1080, I don't think most people know how, I don't think most people really understand the difference in like the broad sense. Like, I think they can feel the difference. That's what they're saying. But that generally is because modern productions aren't looking to look like old films. I think the Japanese anime industry have a very different opinion of this stuff than some people in like communities who are outside of it perhaps think. And that like they actively go for something that looks shiny and new and modern, opposed to trying to emulate some films from like 40 years ago. And yeah, I think the imperfections and quirks are like part of the fun, but you can get that in digital as well. I mean, you've got to realize that most animation in the industry is still drawn on paper. The only difference is how they like approach that in terms of like coloring and backgrounds. It's still all hand-drawn frames for the most part. Some younger animators use tablets, but most of the industry still paper. Like, that hasn't changed. It's just how they approach that paper. I mean, upscaling film, I mean, I'd rather you don't have to upscale old films. Like, the thing with like Daikon 4, it'd be great if we had like, you know, an original 16mm we could scan in or something like that. Maybe someone does, but like, you know, copyright's never going to get you a full release on that stuff. That's it, the Year 24 group. The Year 24 group is the exact thing I was thinking of. Artisan Geek. Yeah, they're so cool. You've been working on a video from the Year 24 group? You know what? Send me that video when you're done. I'd love to watch it. Unfortunately, a lot of the info is in Japanese, and it takes forever for me to read stuff. Yeah, that's fair. It's difficult, I think. I'm trying to think where my article was from. It was from an illustration publisher called... Oh, what was it called? Damn it. I think it's a UK one, so I'm trying to think what it was called. I can't believe The Room. There was an issue of The Room comics issue, I think it was. Comics issue. Let me see if I can find... so this is... What is this, the issue? It might be... No, it's not this one. Yeah, the magazine is called The Room. This is probably going back a couple years though. Where are we at? Oh fuck! That was the wrong button. Yeah, Room magazine. The issue, it was like the comics issue. That's where I remember reading about it first. Though yeah, I don't know if there's any unique information in it, but I feel like they might have interviewed someone. It might be a good source, regardless, just to have if you can find the copy. It's not that easy to find, but they might have a digital copy on their website, maybe. Who knows? But yeah, it's unfortunate that it's not as well known, because it's the stuff. It's kind of like topic that would make a great documentary. The Year 24 group. But I hope the project goes well, regardless. Ion. Do I listen to a lot of 90s rap? Like I like Tribe Called Quest, but I don't listen to too many 90s stuff, I'm afraid. It wasn't really my decade for listening to that sort of thing. Though I do like hip hop in general. More contemporary though. I'm more interested in newer stuff than the 90s. I think my cat likes your voice. Okay, that's fair enough. She's usually watching you live. Well, all right, I'll take that. I'll take that. The cats like me, I guess. Cool cats. Only cool cats like me. Is there a benefit of trying to emulate older styles beyond aesthetic or nostalgical purposes? I don't really. Right. I guess the reason. I think you have to think about why you're doing it. That's how. Ooh, I'm tapping that wire. I shouldn't be. Oh, okay. No, it's good. I tapped that wire too much. The thing might cut out. You've got to think about. Hopefully the camera will come back in a second. Yeah. All right. So you've got to think about why you want to emulate something, because there's a term called pastiche, right? If your only reason for doing it is because you think it looks cool, you've got to think about. I think it's best to think about why you're doing it beyond just that reason. What is it about these older aesthetics that you want to capture, right? I think it's all about the intent of your project. Is there a particular reason you want your project to look like it's from 1987? Does it have to do with the time period it's set in? Does it have to do with like a preference in aesthetic? Is it to do with like what kind of color palettes you like? Is it to do with the directing style? Why do you want it to look that way? Because, modern directors also have preferences in this way. You'll hear about like Quentin Tarantino circle jerk with his feet about, I shoot on 80mm, I shoot on 80mm, I shoot on 80mm, blah, 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 blah. I have to do it, I have to shoot on 80mm only. It's like, well, yeah, but nobody besides you can really tell the difference when it comes down to like watching it on their stream or whatever. It's a you preference, people have gotten pretty good at emulating different things. It's not that hard to do on like a broad sense if you know what you're doing, but like I don't know if there's a huge application to it besides if you want to keep a certain, like perhaps the reason you want to make something that looks like that is because you want to keep a certain style of thing alive, or you want to introduce it to a new generation. Then maybe that might be reasons. Maybe you want to give all your friends that used to work in that industry back in the day another job, There are reasons, but I think you have to be clear cut in your reasons, because if your reason is just I like it, it's not a very strong reason to spend so much time and effort doing that. Yeah, I hope our Arts and Geek actually helps you. I really do. I think they may have had an interview or something, but yeah, their website may have a link to it. I really wish I still had my issue, but it must have been thrown away. I used to have it in the back of my book or something, but I think I just lost it. I don't know, it's really annoying. That was such a good issue. But yeah, great topic, by the way. Have I ever seen Tommy Wiseau's The Room? Yes, yeah, I've seen it a couple of times. I actually saw it in the... I met Tommy Wiseau. Love is Blind? I don't know if you guys know this, but this is actually a Tommy Wiseau jacket. Can you see that? Oh no, can chat see that? Oh no. It should be on the back here, right? Oh, I knocked my water over. Oh dear. I think it's empty. It's fine. Ugh. Yeah, there you go. You can actually see it on the screen. All right. Yeah, I've seen The Room. I've met Tommy Wiseau in person, so there you go. I've seen it. I've seen the film beforehand, and I saw it in the theatre of people. We all threw spoons at the screen. It was pretty weird. A lot of screaming. But yeah, we met him. Interesting man. I won't say that much. Unique man, yeah. And yeah, I do have a video coming out today. Probably like soonish. I need to choose the right thumbnail. Okay, besides your interest in Japanese animation and music, are you also a fan of movies? Yeah, I know Miike, Kurosawa, Katano? Who's Katano? What do you mean by Katano? Like, what director? What did he do? But yeah, I like Japanese movies, especially Kurosawa. I'm a big Kurosawa fan. I've got a lot of his films on like Blu-ray, maybe. I have a lot of back catalog there. I don't know. One day we may do a Kurosawa video. Who knows? I believe there's a certain aesthetic works for certain types of works. For instance, wouldn't it be fitting for an Final Fantasy anime to have a record of Lotus aesthetic? No, I think a Final Fantasy anime should look like Amano. That's what I would personally say. I would definitely prefer if if we're going to do a Final Fantasy anime full on, we should probably make it look like the guy who designed all the stuff to begin with. That would be my preference, to be honest. But I mean, there's a lot of ways you could do it. There's a lot of ways you could do a Final Fantasy anime. They could go into like that super realistic CGI they like to do for like the Final Fantasy VII movie they did, Advent Children. They could go like really more cartoonish, like they did for the Crystals animation that Rintaro directed in the 90s. They could go full on Amano and go for like the really traditional look. They could try and focus on the sort of style of the director of some of the newer ones, art directing wise. I don't know, there's a lot of aesthetics of doing it. I don't know if Lotus Wars is the one I would pick personally. I don't know. I think a CGI Final Fantasy film that tries to focus on like an Amano style, or having like very colourful sort of splattery, painterly backgrounds that try and get the trend of merge the worlds of like traditional and 3D through like Blender or something. That could be very interesting. I think they could do some stuff with that. What would be great. But you'd have to have the right people on the project. You did not expect that. I thought you had seen my Love is Blind thing on here, but I guess not. What a story, Steve. Oh, okay, here's the story for you. My friend and me went, and one of my friends asked a question to Tommy Wiseau, and Tommy got like quite heated about it. He made him come up onto the set, like on the stage, and asked him all these questions. I can't remember what the question was about, but I don't know, he just got kind of irate with him, and he pulled him up to the set, and he was asking him questions about stuff, and then it turned from like him being a little bit irate to him like giving a pep talk and like a support talk about stuff, because my friend was like talking about making movies and such, and saying that like the reason he couldn't make movies at the time is that he just got really depressed. So like Tommy was giving him like speech about like how he got to where he was. It was pretty wild. Takashi Kitano. Oh, what, the Takeshi's Castle guy? I don't know if I've seen any of his films. Have I? Have I seen any of his films? What's this? Let me look through. Violent Corp. Hanabe. He did the remake of Sato Ichide. Beyond Outrage. Have I seen any of these? I haven't seen any of these films, I'm afraid. But maybe one day. Yeah. Yakuza films, is it? I haven't seen any of them. I have seen Miike's work, though. I've gotten a fair few of Miike's. Gozu. Gozu from 2003 is a hell of a trip for a film. I really recommend everyone watch Gozu. That was insane. That's probably my favourite Miike stuff. Trying to think what else Miike's done that I really like. I've seen a lot of Miike's work, to be fair. I mean, my friend Billy used to sit down and just watch Miike videos. So we've seen a fair few. Yeah, I think Amano's designs would be the coolest thing to see a Final Fantasy. I mean, his designs are the series. Let's not pretend they're not. I mean, stuff has changed as the years went by, but he still does all the covers. I mean, come on. If anyone should be the Final Fantasy style guide for if you're going to make a movie or whatever, probably should be him at this point. It's about time. What a story, Mark, indeed. Tommy should be a guest on my channel. Oh my god. Also, Merry Christmas, everyone. Yeah, I guess it's going to be Christmas soon. You know what? You know what? If Tommy wants to come on my channel, I don't think I'd be against it, though I would be worried because I feel like Tommy sometimes has episodes where, like, maybe he'd come on my channel, but then he'd strike the video because he's like, no, you do not have permission to use my face. I've took it away, and then he'll just attack. You know, he'll do something like that. I don't know. I don't think there's a good reason to have him on the show. Like, what's he gonna say? He doesn't really have any. It's not his world. So, like, if he made an anime. Now that would be a different story. That would be an interesting interview. But I don't know. Yeah, the Waizu anime should definitely be a thing. I'd love to see it, to be honest. Let's have a look, Hazel. I've been listening to Christmas songs ad nauseum, desperate to feel something. You know, that reminds me. That's like Sen, you know. Sen Huxtable, he's always listening to that as Christmas music 24/7, right? He listened to the bangers, to be fair, like that the what was it? What's her name? Maria Takeuchi and her husband, like their Christmas duo is pretty great. I really like that song. Yeah, I'm not a huge Christmas guy, I'm afraid. Unfortunately, everyone. I don't know if that's a big shock or anything, but you know, Christmas is for the children. I'm sure my nephew will very much enjoy Christmas, and I hope he has a good time. But I'm not really that bothered about it. You know, it's just another day to me at this point. I've got too much work to do to worry about it too much, especially during this year. You're tearing me apart, Oni-chan. Yeah, classic. Sion Sono's films are also pretty wild. Sion Sono. I feel like that name is familiar, so like let me just look it up to see if I've actually watched any of these. The Suicide Circle. Yeah, I actually have Love Exposure. Yeah, I've got Love Exposure on Blu-ray. 4-hour long film, right? What else has he done? Has he done the other one I think he did? Is that him? Yeah, Love Exposure is pretty cool. I know artists, but how hard is it to do what people like Akira Toriyama do, where they basically make their own style and draw their own whole world and characters and style, even if it's not more basic? You know, it's pretty difficult, but you know, if it's your career, like you just do it, right? It's what you do all day. I think most people could give it a go at, like, you know, if you've got the time, you can do it. I think with Akira, though, it was more, you know, more just practically that, you know, his job was to release a manga every week. And I don't think those are, like, realistic deadlines for most people, because you have to work your way up to that point. Like, he was already a millionaire by the time he was making Dragon Ball and all that stuff. But I think that people get too hung up on this idea of style. I think most people start from an area where their influences seem to be more on their sleeve, and over time they sort of just kind of fall into their space. But really what you need to be doing is just absorbing a lot of different art and the artists and looking at lots of different things, different styles, different mediums. And like you'll probably find what you really like from like somewhere in between all of that, and eventually get there. I mean, I think that sometimes style should just be a case of like how you like to draw, where you're comfortable drawing. I think is more important than you trying to put on something. Because if you notice someone like Akira Toriyama, the way he designs and draws stuff has radically changed over the years. The stuff he did back in the 80s, which is more round and pudgy, is nowhere close to the stuff he was doing in the 90s, which became really sharp and angular. And nowadays his designs are like really sort of smaller and thinner. All his characters are more like, they have bigger heads, they're more chibi, their muscle structures are back like a lot smaller. Like he doesn't focus as much on the muscles anymore. The eyes have become rounder again, though there's still some sort of triangulation in them in terms of the hair, still quite spiky. So yeah, I think things for him have changed a lot over the years, and I think that you shouldn't resist that, because you will just change the way you draw as you go. Even like JoJo, right? The designer of JoJo has radically changed the way he draws things from like part 1 to part 8. They're like not even the same person anymore. It's gonna happen. And like, you just got to keep, taking in your influences and keep doing it. It's not like you're gonna be a Dragon Ball artist from the beginning. Like, if you want to do it, if you're passionate about making worlds and drawing characters, then you should be doing it regardless of what you think. If you think you're there yet, you're never gonna feel there. Yeah, Tommy anime again would be pretty. Why so as the Joker? Oh my god, yeah. Jesus Christ, yeah. I haven't seen Suicide Club, but I don't know. That guy sounds pretty wild. Well, next year, alright, expect the worst and brace for it, I would say. Like, I don't know if next year will be better than this year. I mean, I think we're in a perpetual downward spiral, but who knows? Maybe you get lucky. We'll see. Chicory Sugar, thanks for providing great background noise when I draw. I appreciate. I hope you're drawing. It's fun. I hope you're having a good time drawing. How was Akira a millionaire before drawing Dragon Ball? Because he made Dr. Slump. Dr. Slump, one of the most famous Japanese manga ever released. I mean, it never got big over here, I guess, because it wasn't localized, but it was huge in Japan. It sold a lot of units. So yeah, like, Dr. Slump was a huge success, and then he moved on to Dragon Ball, which then became a worldwide success, which means he's even more popular. I mean, there was Dragon Quest, where he was the head illustrator, designer person, and then that was a worldwide success eventually, and a huge success in Japan, And then he did stuff on Chrono Trigger, which was also a big, successful game. Have I watched anything by Kasao Umesu? Is it Kazuo? Oh, is this who I think it is? Is this the fella who did, wait, let's have a look here. Mother. So he directed a film called Mother. Did I? I'm trying to look through his stuff here. I'm not quite sure if I have, if I'm honest. Artisan Geek, is there anything you'd recommend? I'm not sure if I have or not. What are they? Oh god, I've got too many sides. What did they? Let's see, what have I got here? I feel like I may have seen one of their mangas before. I'm not sure. They're horror. They did horror, right? Did they do... What is this one? They look familiar, but I'm not really sure. Whoa. It's pretty wild. Damn. Yeah. Looks cool, whatever it is. Looks cool. What's Gabe saying? Yeah, like Still Ball Run and all that, that's very different stylistically than like part 1. Not loving what Toriyama's doing in his newer style, but I still... Yeah, I mean, I'm more a fan of his like earlier stuff, but I don't really hold it against him, because at this point Toriyama, like, he's a very, he's like a retired... Like, Toriyama's more or less like retired from drawing like manga or doing like constant designs. Like, he still does stuff for like Dragon Quest and occasionally works for other projects here and there, designing a character, like one-offs here and there, like doing little bits and pieces like that. But he's not doing like weekly stuff anymore. I think his style has sort of placed to somewhere where he just feels comfortable drawing. And I mean, I read the Jocko, is it Jocko? The Jocko manga. I thought that was fun. It's a good time. Like, but yeah, I mean, stuff changes, when you get to a certain age, and you can't. When your wrists start giving out, you have to start like playing with that a little bit. Happy Winter Solstice. I can't even say it. Winter Solstice. Winter Solstice. Is that how you say it? Winter Solstice. So sorry, I'm not. Yeah, happy Winter Solstice, everyone. Oh, he did Drifting Classroom. Is this Drifting Classroom? Is that a manga or is that an anime? Oh, it's a manga, is it? I wouldn't be surprised. Looking at some of the stuff looks quite familiar. Maybe I'll check out, if I can find it, I'll try and check out Drifting Classroom a little bit later on. Cat-eyed boy, he likes the God for... yeah. I probably will have to look into him a bit more later on. Not disregarding all the other artists, but I feel like after consuming a lot of manga and anime, Japanese movies, that anime Japanese artists tend to be more creative or weird. The ones you've seen, you mean, because you only have a small gap of the market unless you speak Japanese, and also you can get it distributed it to you. So like you have a, you know, as someone looking on the outside, you have a very particular edge to it. But then there's also this sort of, I hate to use the elephant in the room here, but back in the day, a lot of things that got moved from Japan to different countries tend to because of Oriental reasons. That the concept of like Japanese being kind of like kooky and weird, and like especially this happened especially from the 70s onwards. There was a stereotype created by many Americans and other people about the idea of the Orient, the wild things from East. They were kind of like aliens. You even hear like big artists talk about this. I remember there's an interview in particular with like David Bowie who mentioned this stuff about how like, how Japan was this different world. It was like a different country. Not even a country, it was like a different world. It was a different planet from the UK back then. And this sort of inspired some of his ideas and concepts back then when it came to certain things. Like, there's plenty of weird stuff out there. I mean, it's just like culturally, the divide is different. Like, when you're not as used to things on a cultural basis that have been embedded into your cult, like from a younger age, you're going to look at stuff from a very different lens. I mean, French comics are also incredibly weird and out there. Same with French movies and animations. And so, like, it really depends what you're looking for and where the market is. Like, every country in the world has these things. What you might see, at least with like Japanese mangaka, right, is that they're giving a particular platform that perhaps American artists don't get. Like in the American comic industry, generally the rule is that you have editors that revolve artists and writers on a regular basis. Where like in the Japanese market, you might see stuff, especially in the biggest ones, right? It's generally just one guy and his assistants making and writing and doing the art for the thing at the same time. But like when we, as someone looking on the outside, we can't really make educated guesses for how different something is when we only have a small window into it overall. So I think these are like dangerous, like they can be quite dangerous stereotypes to sort of look at or like try and assess culturally when we only know so little. Do you think Japanese city pop will see a resurgence of some kind in the influence of the mainstream music being made today? You kind of see a little bit happening in Korea, and you might see bits and pieces of it around. There certainly are artists that are like already in the neo city pop era from the 2000s that may see a boost in their new album releases. It's entirely possible. I don't really think that it will affect like really big players in the game though, because they already have a huge audience. People like the huge like idol groups or anything. I don't think they're gonna necessarily start like pumping out city pop jams or anything like that, just because a lot of the Japanese market is more interested about Japanese sales than they are worldwide sales. Just want to express my love and humanity and your channel. Thank you very much, Sailor. Any opinions on bad 90s anime dubs? Depends what ones we're talking about, or if they're bad or not, I guess. And there can be a charm there. There's definitely going to be a charm. Like, how like bad kung fu dubs are pretty charming in their own way. On the Edge, hello, how you doing there? Did I see the Suehiro Maru adapted anime? What is that? Which one are we talking about? What's the name of it? There were a lot of racist depictions of Japan in the mainstream media in the 80s. Yeah, it's pretty stereotypical. Yeah, it was. Yeah, this fear between the economic situation with Japan. How like every action film seemed to have 17 ninjas in it for some reason. Yeah, you're right. I also consume the translated stuff, so it makes sense. And plus, I haven't consumed much places like trance beside some of their classic movies. I just find it different from the American stuff I've consumed. They were more creative. I mean, that's also like a sort of slim bias stuff. Like perhaps you're just more. Maybe that's just more of your style, I guess. But I mean, American comics have its own like unique history. I mean, if we're talking American comics, American animation, right? There's a huge wide history of this stuff that goes beyond like the mainstream, especially in American comics, because like the American underground comics were pretty wild back in the day. American animation, unfortunately, tends to be a bit more standardized. Though again, like American, children's animation, there's definitely like a lot of room there, and there has been a lot of room there for like different stuff going on. But like American animation has pretty much been defined by Disney and their sort of monopoly on the whole state. So generally, a lot of animation has tried to be like that in the American sphere, for better or worse. Though independent animation has always been a thing within America, you just have to find it. Goblin Lord, thank you for the thumbs up. It's snowing here, is it? Oh, Jesus Christ, it must be cold. Mr. Arashi's Freak Show, also known as Midori. Yeah, I've seen Midori. Yeah, Soviet animation especially, and Russian animation is really fascinating. A lot of excellent stuff happened back then. Like they had a lot more leeway in some ways. People like Yuri Norenstein and stuff like that, like really fantastic. And there's tons of great stuff that came out from the Russian side of things. A lot of unique stuff. I mean, their version of Little Mermaid is really great. Their Wild Swan as well. These are really beautiful films, unique in their own fashion. And of course, like I probably will talk about it at some point, but Fantastic Planet from France, 1973's Fantastic Planet is a really like, I don't know, just culturally defining film in terms of animation. Like I think French, pretty much kings of the animation field sometimes. Sunbro, thank you very much. Oh God, I guess we'll have to cut it down in a second, won't we? Hanna-Barbera was quite the powerhouse at one time. It is true. Yeah, the Russian stuff can be really good, really good. Like I said, check out the Little Mermaid one if you can. Yuri Norenstein stuff is pretty cool. I think there's some other stuff. You could probably find a list of like ones to check out. There's a lot of unique stuff out there. The world is a big place, Have I heard of the insanely messed up anime called Sweet Sugar Life? I have not heard of it. I know there's a manga it's called this, but so there was 12 episodes. When did it come out? 2018. I don't know. It looks kind of cute, I guess. I'm guessing it's one of those Moe Gap things. Yeah, I have no idea. I have no opinion of it, I guess. Young Schwankmeyer. Yeah, I know the main man. He's done some pretty cool stuff. Czech filmmaker, right? Yeah. We watched a lot of that when I was back in college, when we were doing like our moving image courses and such. We watched a fair few of his stuff. It's very visceral, in a way. Like it feel very much on the senses and stuff. That's it's pretty cool, pretty uncanny, a little creepy. Yeah, cool though. His stop motion stuff, yeah. Is there any anime you looking forward to watching next year? I am looking forward to watching the rest of Vladlove, the new Oshi one. I watched the first episode on YouTube. I have no idea when the rest of the series is coming out or what they're doing with it. I don't imagine the rest is coming out on YouTube. I'm looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to if they're releasing the Uzumaki short series. Not because I necessarily think it's going to be a great adaptation, but I'm just looking forward to the music. They got like Colin on it, Colin Colin Stenson, is it? Colin Stenson, who's worked. I like a couple of his albums beforehand. He's like kind of more of a what would you call it? Experimental jazz, I guess. No, he's like a saxophone player, I guess. Saxophone player. He did the soundtrack for like what is it called? Hereditary and stuff like that. He's got a pretty good eye for soundtrack music, and I'd like to maybe make a video talking about the musical accompaniment he did to Uzumaki, because I think that will, to me, be the thing that I will be paying attention to. I've read Uzumaki. I'm not that interested in seeing an adaptation of it, but the people behind it seem like very talented people. So, cautiously optimistic, I guess. Those are the two I'm thinking about off the top of my head, but I usually don't get enough time to watch new stuff anyway. So, like, it's not really, like, you know, something I'm, like, really pushing for. I'd like to see, it's not new. I think Ongaku, I'd really like to watch, but that's, like, a year old. But maybe in 2021 I'll be able to actually get, like, a physical release of it. So, yeah, that's me. Where are we? Have I seen Russafon? I was going to buy it. I saw it on sale once upon a time, but I forgot to buy it. It was like 10 quid for the series. Maybe I'll watch it one day. I like the look of it. It's like I think that's actually a Madhouse show, isn't it? Russafon? Madhouse show? How do I find out? I have to look at it still on sale. I'd like to buy. It'd be cute to have a little copy of it somewhere. I think it's only on DVD though. Animation TV show studio. No, it's Bones. Oh, it's Bones. Okay, well that's not quite Madhouse, but Bones. Yeah, maybe I'll watch it one day. I want to see his Alice movie. I think I saw his Alice movie. It's pretty weird. Was that like the 1970 one? It's like live action with stop motion in it. It's pretty out there if I recall. Yeah, definitely check it out. Alright. Ooh. Oh, we've got another recommendation in the chat by the look of it. Igor Kavalyov. I'm probably not going to say that right. And Roman Davoyodov are my personal favourite Soviet Russia era. If anyone's looking for recommendations. Yeah, I mean, if people are looking for them, Google those. I think there's a lot of Soviet animation still up on YouTube. There's like a channel that like just archives old Soviet animated movies. So they have absolutely tons on there. So if you want to just have a quick skim through there, I mean, you've got hours to watch there. Oh, you have to go. Oh, okay, I'm probably have to leave in a second too. Hereditary is chilling. Yeah, I mean, the music is probably a good part of that. I was going to watch Gaku right now, are you? Oh, sweet. Tell me how it is, Hazel. I'd probably be into watching it. Junior E2 animated adaptations really blow hard. I mean, we'll see about this new one because it's a bit of a different situation. It's like I guess it's like an ONA, is it? I mean, it's like 4 episodes, isn't it? 4 episodes. They've been working on it for a long time. They've got Colin Stenson on the soundtrack. It's been produced by Adult Swim and Crunchyroll together, I think. You know, it's got talent behind it. The director was handpicked by the artist himself, if I recall. I think there's a lot of factors. They wanted to do it in black and white, so that's kind of a unique take on it. Again, I'm more interested in the music. I don't really care how good it is as an adaptation. I've already read it. I don't need it to be exactly that, but I'm interested in how it uses the music to convey its scenes and how the director does it, and if it's good, if he does it effectively. That's what I'm interested in. Tarkovsky, Tarkov. God, I can't even say anything today. Tarkovsky's a pretty good director, if I recall. I think he did Solaris. Is that him? Ah, you're heading out, geek. Well, thank you for showing up. I appreciate it. Looking forward to that year 24 video then. Have a good night. I mean, or whatever time it is over there. Anyway, cheers. Oh yeah, I'll probably have to cut it out in a second. Oh, the Snow Queen, yeah. 1950, The Snow Queen. Yeah, I was watching that. It was pretty good. I think I fell asleep watching it though. I should probably figure out if I can finish it. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, that's the one worth watching, The Snow Queen. Yeah. Rewatch Gits and Gits 2 Innocence. You might do a show on them. Gits 2 probably. Maybe Gits 1, who knows. I'd like to cover like Oshi's work slowly, just because there's so much of it. I don't think I could do a whole video on his career. It'd be too much. He's too much fucking work. But yeah, maybe I'll cover like bits and pieces of it here and there. I'm more interested in talking about Gits 2 than 1, to be honest. I think Gits 1 has been talked to death, so I'd have to find a way of talking about it which interests me. Yeah, the original Snow Queen is pretty cool. Yeah, it is. The channel Nam Do uploads animated Soviet propaganda. That's interesting to look at. Yeah, if you want to look at that kind of stuff, there's you know, if you're looking at it from an archival perspective, yeah. Yeah, he did Solaris. You should check out The Stalker and Mirror. Yeah, I probably won't do one. Well, one day, I will watch those things, I'm sure. Right. Okay, everyone. I think in the next minute or two, I'm going to have to be heading out. That is how it's going to go, I think. Okay, yeah, so we're probably close to the end, and then I'll have to upload the video. I think I have a... Alright, bye-bye, Hazel. Yeah, I'll go in a second. I'm just gonna... What I'll do, before I go, I need to make this thumbnail real quick, so let me figure out how I'm gonna do that. Let's see, I got 3 screenshots. I think I know which one I'm gonna go for, and I'll show it to the chat when I figured it out. Yeah, as soon as I have it, I'll yeah, it's definitely this one. It's definitely this one. I know which one I'm gonna go. I just need to make it a little bigger. So I'm gonna finish making the screenshot. I'll shove it on the Majiggy. I'll show it on the screen in a second when I finished it. So we're gonna go like that. There's a big pog face. Let's up the vibrance a bit. Reboost that a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of weird when you look up close on this stuff, because some of the effects they've used are like real life textures next to these sort of anime expressions. They might have went a little too far in places. Feels like a real life towel on her, but then it's not a very real looking face. Go save that. I wonder if I could maybe up the contrast. Yeah, up the contrast a bit there. There we go. I think that will do. That's a thumbnail. There we go. I did it, guys. I made a thumbnail. My thoughts on Shingo Tamagawa's Puparia. It's pretty poggers. He used God, what was the name of the composer? Is it Stephen Reich piece? He used like a Stephen Reich piece. Very cool. Nice art. His other film beforehand was very cool. I'd like to see him do some like full productions, but I imagine he'll have a real hard time keeping up that style with like an actual like movie or TV show. I think he'd really struggle. So who knows how that will go? Who the hell knows? But yeah, let's put it on screen, I guess, before we're done. Before we go out, I'll preview this new thumbnail I just made. It might be a little horrific, everyone. A little warning here, a little warning about this film does look a little strange at times. I don't know, this character's probably one of the better designed ones though, to be fair. Yeah, that's the one. There we go. Oh. There you go. That's the thumbnail, guys. I think that's what I'm going for now. That will do until I have to worry about it too much. I don't know what to call this video though. I think I left it with What's the Deal with Yana Yana Penguin. I don't know if that's the title that's going to do anything, because I don't think anyone has where's the text going to go? There's no space for text on this thumbnail. What am I going to write on it? Pog? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to even call this video. I have to figure that out right now. Yana Yana Penguin is weird. I don't know. Like subtitle text. I don't know. I can't think of anything interesting to put on it in terms of stuff like that. What's the deal? I think the current title I had was What's the Deal with Yana Yana Penguin? Is that what I called it? I said What's Up with Yana Yana Penguin. That's what I got. That's where I'm at with the title of it. The weirdness? Yeah, that could be a title. I don't know. Did I even talk about why it's weird in the video? The weirdness. I don't know. Does that really matter if I've talked about it or not? The weirdness of... Maybe the strange world of Yana Yana Penguin. How about that? I need to change this. God damn it! When I use a specific background on Windows 7, like it makes it impossible to like edit my YouTube video titles because it all goes black and I can't see anything. I don't have to explain it. I don't know. It's something to do with the way they must do the websites, how they use the backgrounds or something. Alright, I have to wait for my my OS, my background to change. Come on. But yeah, I think this will probably be the end right here. I just need to change the name of this and I'll make it public and then I'll end the stream. There we go. I'm back on the street. So let's go. The Strange World. I don't know, is that even a good title? The Strange World of Yana Yana Penguin. Is that a title? The Intrigue. The Intrigue. Oh, I don't even know. Alright. Let's figure this out, chat. Let's figure this out, because I don't know what to... Oh god, I've lost my thing. No, where'd you go? Oh no. I've lost the chat. How did I lose the chat? How did I do that? Oh, for God's sake. How do I get it back? How do I do that? Wait, am I still going? The end of Rintara's career. I mean, actually, that might be a good title there, Hazel. Weird World. Yeah, I think the end of Rintara's career might be... Alright, let's go with that one. That's probably... If I can, Jesus Christ. I've lost all my thing's gone all funny. And I don't know why. Why have I lost all my stuff? I've lost all my data and I've lost my chat for some reason. I don't even know how to like exit out of the stream now. Alright. Where were we? Wait, still going? Yeah, we're still going, aren't we? All right, yeah. So sorry, YouTube has fucked me over, I guess, because I can't see my chat and or any of my data or the ability to stop the stream, I guess. I'm not sure what happened there, but the end of Rintara's career could be a good one. Though Rintara's name doesn't have a huge amount of selling, but neither does Yana Yana Penguin. The Intrigue, The Weird World of Yona Yona Penguin, Uncanny Valley Nightmare. Jesus Christ. I might have to go with The Weird World of Yona Yona Penguin. I don't know. Rintaro doesn't seem to have much sway in comparison to like Kawajiri or something like that. He's kind of more unknown. His films are well, not necessarily, but at least in the Western sphere. So, how am I going to do this? Alright. I'm a mess. No, let's go with... So, I think The Weird World of Yona Yona Penguin sounds good to me. Alright, so let's... The Weird World of Yona Yona Penguin. Oh, I haven't even done any fucking tags or anything either. God almighty. The 3D doesn't add up? What do you mean by that? Yeah, I mean the 3D is a bit weird on it. For sure. Alright, I need to add tags and other stuff, so you guys can keep going while I'm adding tags. Yona Yona Penguin. Oh, Yona Yona Penguin. Madhouse. Rintaro. Maybe we can say the end of Rintaro's career is the description. The end of Rintaro's career. As a film director, at least, yeah. Yeah, I think he retired on his own whim, though. Hello, Meatball Sup. We're about to end, unfortunately. The Uncanny Valley Nightmare, yeah. Right. So yeah, I have to add tags and all that other weird stuff you do. Yona... Alright, I'm going to add the description here. Yona Penguin. So we got the end of Rintaro's career in the description here. Yona Penguin is weird. There we go. That's going to be my description. I've got to add some hashtags, I guess, at the bottom. Let's add Yona Penguin Madhouse month and Rintaro. Did I spell that all right? I hope so. Now I need to add more tags, I guess, to the main video. So we got Yona Yona Penguin, Madhouse month, Madhouse, Rintaro, Madhouse month, anime review, I guess. I guess that's kind of what this is. I mean, it's barely a review. 3D anime. Okay, that's where we're at. Yeah, is this exciting content, everyone? Is this what's cool? Me trying to figure out how to do these things. I mean, we're almost there. We're almost there. As soon as I finish doing these minor updates, I'll release it. Oh, for fuck's sake! This thumbnail now. This thumbnail is too big. I have to re-up. It's bigger than 2 megabytes. I have to mess around now and make it not as big. Japan Animation. Yeah, Japan Animation is pretty cool. Right, so let's save this as a thumbnail. So let's save it as Penguin. Save it as Penguin. And save it in the Yona Yona or Yona Yona Penguin. Oh wait, shit! I haven't made it any smaller by doing that. Oh no! What have I done? Let's see what we got here. Oh no! I clicked the wrong thing again. Okay, I'm a mess. All right, so it's a little bit too big. Let's reopen it and turn it into a JPEG, and then I think we're good. I need to add an end credits thing as well. Jesus Christ! Why is video making so hard? All right, let's import. I'll just import from the last video and see if that works. Bye. Oh, okay. So let's see. Okay, that seems okay. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. That'll do. So alright, we've got an end credits now. We have an end credits. We have some tags. I'm gonna add it to the Madhouse playlist. There we go. Does the chat think there's any more tags I should add to this video? We have Yona Yona Penguin, Madhouse, Rintaro, Madhouse Month, Anime Review, 3D Anime. I don't know what else. Poggers. Alright, Poggers. There we go. Poggers is going to be added to the tags. What's my view on piracy for old anime? Well, if it's the only way you can get it, baby, who's going to stop you? That's just how it be, unfortunately. If I can, I like to buy stuff. I enjoy doing that, you know, especially if it's a good release, but a lot of the time that's not really viable. Oh yeah, video essay. I think video essay is already there. I think that's like an auto tag I have. Anime. Did I have anime as a tag on its own? Oh, okay. I guess I didn't. I don't know if it really matters if you got 3D anime, but I'll just put anime as well, just for good measure. Jose the Tiger and the Fish. I don't know if that's really relevant, but wait a minute. Alright, I got this. The last tag I'm going to do is I'm going to go and look for Yana Yana Penguin, the title in Japanese from Wikipedia, and then I'll just copy that over. Let's just copy that tag over. There we go. Jesus Christ, what? Sailor, what are you talking about here? I think pre-war and German animation was really interesting, especially the shift from abstract film onto more Disney-like films under a certain regime. Yeah, probably. I mean, animation is generally a very interesting history worldwide, though I think most of them are kind of more underappreciated in the world pantheon. You know, if you're not American animation, if you're not British animation, if you're not Japanese animation, you're probably not going to get as much play. With a couple notable exceptions, I'm sure. Did the Romanji title too? I think, well, it doesn't have like a Romanji title, I don't think. I think it's got a mixture here, like I think the Yona Yona is it Hira? I think it's Hiragana, right? And then the second part is katakana, because it's penguin's not a Japanese word. Ibex, my hand is doing better than it was. As you can see there, I'm still in cast because I wear it all the time. Generally it hurts a lot less. The new mouse I got is making it less strained, I think. We're on the road to recovery, maybe. What's happening, Thomas? Thomas, you've came in at the wrong time because we are about to end. I'm just getting the tags ready on this new video, unfortunately. There is another Madhouse Month video coming out today, as soon as I finish the stream any minute. I'm just finishing up the tags and other like stuff that you do on a video before it goes live, because I forgot to do it. I just got to upload the thumbnail for real. Did I just do it? Did I make this? No, I forgot to do it. Okay. I need to go on to Photoshop and make a JPEG version of this because it's not under 2 megabytes. So there we go. Alright, there we go. Wonderful. We now have a JPEG that I can turn into the cover. There we go. I'm always late for everything. Well, that's just life, baby. We've been going for quite a while, to be fair, but I'm afraid that's how it be. But the new video is coming out in a second, so you're not late for that, if you want to stick around. Oh, okay. While we're here, everyone, if you came from the live stream, leave a comment on this video and say you're from the live stream, so I can figure out if there's any traction between the two. So yeah, leave a comment on the video if you were coming from the live stream. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Just say you're from the live stream or something, or mention the word live stream. I don't know. There's always future streams. That's true. Usually I try to do Sundays and Wednesdays, but you know, if I'm releasing a video, I'll try to do a stream beforehand if I can. Depends how much work I've got to do. It'll probably be a bit more structured next year, just because Madhouse Month is such an undertaking. I haven't really been able to keep to a schedule. I just do it when I can. But yeah, leave a comment on the video from everyone from the stream. I'm probably going to make this video live any second. I'm just going to save this, and now I need to learn to shut down the stream. So yeah, we're about to shut down any second now, effectively. I just need to find the way to end it. How do I end things on the stream, because my things went funny. I'm going to reset this and see if that, like, it might break the thingamajig. I don't know. Is it going to break it? Oh, okay, maybe it didn't. Oh, okay, here we go. So there's the live stream. Oh, I didn't see that. We apparently have the final. Blah, blah, blah. Let me put that down for a second. Let me put my laptop down. All right, so we're about to leave, everyone. So yeah, leave a comment on the new video if you came from the stream. We're about to end this one. Ibex, thanks for your channel and the work you do, bro. Can you make an anime? Can I make an anime and movie recommendation list by genre? I don't really pay too much attention to genre, but Ibex, what I'll do for you right now, Ibex, I'm gonna link you to a Twitter thread I did the other day where I recommend a lot of movies that I've watched this year. I made a thread of animations that I've made videos of this year that I recommend, with little intros and little bits and pieces. You may have seen some of them already if you've been on the channel. Where are we at? Where's the majiggy? Alright, so this is for you, Ibex. This is my link to the movies I recommend this year. These are my favourite videos I've covered this year. I don't know if I could do one by genre though, just because genres are so wide, and I don't clarify things that way. We'll see though. I guess we'll see. Usually my channel is just a recommendation of whatever. We shall see. Alright, so yeah, Theodore. Will I watch? I don't know what Jewel Pet is, I'm afraid, so I can't help you there. Bye bye. This live stream was a recommendation recommended to me randomly. I don't know who you are. What's happening here? Denamaluz. I'm afraid this is the end of the stream. I'm about to premiere, or I'm probably not going to premiere. I'm probably just going to release it because it's only 8 minutes long. But I'm about to release my new video that's about as part of Madhouse Month. I don't know why they've recommended you this, but I make videos about animation, Japanese animation mainly, and music. Do lots of like retrospectives on figures. Some of my biggest including Miyazaki and Satoshi Kon. Also talked about Miyazaki's son. Did a video that was really big on Plastic Love or Nujabes. Nujabes, the lo-fi hip-hop man himself. Yeah, so you might want to check out the back catalogue. This was just a chatting up, just talking to people before we do a video, which is going to release any second now. I'm just finishing up on the chat. So I'm afraid we're going to be leaving right there. Yeah, there's too many genres. I don't really think about stuff from genre perspective, just because, you know, they're just categories. I don't know how I would split things, if I'm honest. I'm not very good at that. So, yeah, we're about to finish it. Yeah, the Thief and the Cobbler video did very well. Thief and the Cobbler, a very interesting piece of animation. Ibex, yeah, check that out. I mean, it's probably a little quicker than going through all my videos, but like that's just my recommendations, my strongest recommendations from the stuff I've covered this year. I love Nujabes and Miyazaki movies, just subscribe to you. Thank you very much. The Nujabes video is on his whole career. It's about 24 minutes. And I have a series that you can get through the main videos, a playlist of all the Ghibli related videos I've done, if you want to check those out. Some of them are a bit old and crusty, including my most famous video. They're a bit crusty. There's an updated version of the Miyazaki video I did maybe a year ago. But there's pretty interesting topics in the Ghibli playlist if you want to check those out. But yeah, even ranking would be cool. But yeah, I mean, it would have to be personal preference, the ranking stuff, you know? But I can give my personal preferences maybe sometime. I don't know. We'll see. It's hard to figure out how to do it in general. Like, would it just be like an anime recommendation list? It's really hard to do it without like parameters. Like, say for example, I did a list video once on the 60s anime where I did like my top 10 favorites. I'm not sure how I would present it. That's the problem. How would I present a recommendation list? We'll have to think about it sometimes. Maybe I'll do one of the last decade of anime, like 2010 to 2020. Maybe that could be a fun little mini project. But I'd have to watch every anime or like most of the movies like in between those periods, which would be so difficult. That's just so much stuff. Anyway, yeah, I'll worry about it later. So we're going to end the stream now, fellas. Everyone, folks who came, thank you very much for joining us. Like I said before, if you want to leave a comment on the new video to tell me you came from the live stream, be much appreciated, because this topic is weird and I don't expect anyone to watch it. So thank you very much for joining, and I'm ending the stream in 3, 2, 1. We're ending now. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Thumbs up.